Oh, wow. I didn't even know it was on, but it is. Okay, so we are here. We are back, and I'm happy to be back. It is Hope is Speaking, and I'm here to speak. And the title of this live is Get Angry to Level Up. And this is why. It is the final day of November. What's up, Henry, Harry, Millie, Kamikaze, Thomas? All just came into the live. Why would you leave the live? Last day of November. Tomorrow's the first day of December. It is the last month of the year. And you have the honor of looking back at the year and saying, I'm proud of this year. I'm proud of what I've done. Or what the have I done with my life? What have I done with the past 11 months? I'm in the same spot that I was last year, the year before. I'm with the same person. I'm living in the same city, doing the same job. I got the same look. I got the same hairstyle, same everything. I want you to feel that and get upset. Because if it's not what you want, you have the responsibility of changing it. But until you do, until you actually say, what the F? Why am I still here? Why aren't I doing more? I can do more. Man, I want to do more. Man, I want to be her. Like when you see that person in your mind and you say, I want to be her, you have to get upset. And I'm sharing this because I had that realization last night. What's up, Mag? I always love to see you join. I had that realization where I was kind of upset. And that's all it takes for you to level up. That's all it takes for you to change. That's all it takes for you to want more. Time for you to really challenge yourself for more. It is time to see that new person. It is time to say, nah, I can't do it anymore. I can't do this. I got to do more. I got to be more. I got to show up as more. Maybe I won't be sleeping because I'll be on the computer. I'll be sending out emails, but this has to change. And as I said, this is coming from, what's up? This is coming from a real space because last night and this morning, I felt that. And I journaled because I tell you, I journal all the time about the change. And there's a lot of things that I've accomplished this year that I knew I was going to. And that feels great. But then I just celebrated a birthday and it is reflecting on that and reflecting on the time I have left. I'm never looking at the time that's passed. I can't do anything about that. All I can do is use the time that I have to maximize my output, which means take responsibility for me. I got to take responsibility for where I'm at. I got to take responsibility for where I'm not. And I have to take the responsibility to do what it takes in every day to get there. The moment that you say, I couldn't do it because of this person. I couldn't do it because the school didn't give me the grade. I couldn't do it because at my job they didn't upgrade me or promote me. That's whack, that's lame, and that's why you're not winning. It's you. Side note, that is the main point in my TED Talk, which you can go to my link in bio and watch my TED Talk. It is you. And the TED Talk, I said last year, I wanted to gift myself doing a TED Talk as my birthday gift. And I did it. And it was like, whoa, okay, sure, this is how this works. It's a bit of saying these things and then more believing it, blind belief. But then what I want to do, I just need more accomplishments. That means I need to turn up the fire. You got to turn up the fire on yourself because if you don't, you just stay in the same place. And if you want to stay in the same place, if you want to stay your same physical size, if you want to stay around the same people you're with, if you want to stay the same, then continue what you're doing. But if you don't, get upset at where you are now. Get upset at the times that you were chilling and you could have been putting deliberate effort towards what you want. And also, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. I love to chill. I am all about relaxing as well as putting out as much effort as possible. But I don't know if there's a balance. I've yet to find it. I don't know what balance is. I believe it changes with every person in every moment. But if you're not to where you want to be, you have to get there. Now, let me take it a step back. Do you even know what you want? Do you even know what you want? And I'm not talking about just menial going to a job and getting to work and taking home a check. No. What do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want to be known as? What do you want to buy? What do you want? Not what can you get? What do you want? Do you want freedom of time? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be married? Do you want to have children? Do you want to have unlimited resources to purchase whatever you want? Do you want to travel? Do you want to dive into your spirituality or your religion? Do you want to release yourself from religion or spirituality? Do you want to dye your hair? What do you want? And this is a pivotal time to ask these questions because we're really going into a dormant time. Whereas the winter is the time we're most relaxed. Even animals go into all of that. What is all of that, TT nursing? I don't understand all of that. What is that? Bears, animals hibernate during the winter. And I'm sharing this because this is that time. What's up, the God particle? This is that time to really stew over these next few months. Forget New Year's. My New Year is every day. It's a new start. Really, my birthday is my New Year, but these arbitrary starts, you have to get to a bar frustrated. You are so frustrated that there's nowhere else to go but how and where you see yourself. And until you get to that place, you'll typically stay complacent. You'll typically just stay where you're at, because why would I do more? I want you to get so upset that all you see is the goal. And I'll make a post because I just turned 40 and it's amazing. And every day is amazing. Every year is amazing. Every decade is amazing. But this is different in the sense of what I see the next 2 years, how I see it. I don't see anything except the accomplishments. I know, because I live a great life. I do. And I eat great and I drink a lot of water and I live a great life. All my family looks great for whatever age. And I don't understand that when people say you look great for that age. I don't even know what that means, because I'm only around people who have lived really great lives. I'll say this. I listen to people. And being at home with my parents, I realize why. Because I want to do what I want to do. And it may be difficult for others, but I'm not going to listen to anyone tell me how to live my life. I became a public speaker from 3 things. Number 1, my father was the speaker. All the men in my family, and as well as the women in my family, are amazing, articulate speakers. In addition, I was only able to speak a certain way in my household, and I'm enamored by my father. Thank you, King Kush Imp, for the heart me. I always saw how communication is so powerful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the love and the fire emoji. I always wanted to be that person where people listen to me and say, wow, because communication is the only thing that is really valuable in life. If you can't, you can have 10 degrees, but if you can't communicate, it doesn't matter. You can be knowledgeable in a skill, but if you can't communicate the skill, it doesn't matter. Oh, what's up? I am Frey. I didn't know. Oh, look at you. You got a backup page. It's good to see you, girl. If you can't communicate, forget about it. Forget about it. Yes, and you can easily start by going to Toastmasters. I would go to Toastmasters, but I also read a lot. I watch a lot of speakers. As I said, my father was the speaker. I would watch Les Brown. I still watch. I watch Tony Robbins. I watch Mel Robbins. I watch. There's some other speakers that I listen to, but I don't listen to too many, because I don't want the influence of another speaker to infiltrate. So there's certain things that I'll watch and then I won't. But here's another thing. If you want to speak, there's a certain character about you that just needs to be heard. You don't really have to train. You have to believe. And I believe for me, just living has been my experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the gift. Wow. Traveling. All of my speaking comes from traveling, because since 22, I was out of my house on my own, traveling, finding places to live, traveling the world. And I have truly learned myself. And this is what I speak about. Ultimately, thank you for all of the gifts, I am Frey. Initially, when I went into speaking, I thought I was going to just be a speaker towards young women. Speaking, words are universal. And I am stubborn in the fact that I don't listen to mofos. And I never have. I have a confidence where it's like, I want that, I'll find a way to get it. I don't say, how can I do this? I just say, I'll do it. And I find a way. And it can be difficult and it can be hard, but I don't want a mediocre, boring life. And that comes from living and experiencing and pain and fun and growth. You just have to take life head on. You have to take life head on. There are tools that can assist, but the only way to get there is by just doing it. There's no way. My father would say there's no shortcuts in life. There aren't. There aren't. You just have to do it. And like with working, I never found it. I never found it delightful to say, this is my job. I love working 80 hours a week. I get up at 4 a.m. and I do this and I'm going to retire at 60. That was never what I was going to do. And I knew it. And I knew what that would take. However, that will take what it takes. But you do what it takes. And this is why when you hear me speak, there's a certain energy to it. I have a lot of energy. And I've also had to not really fight for my uniqueness, but really be secure and confident in what and who I am. In what and who I am. And I'm home with my parents for the holidays, and I'm seeing that now, even at 40 years old. When I thank you, I talk to everyone, and everywhere I go, most people just gravitate towards me and talk, and I hear these things. I hear my sister saying, Hope talks to everyone. She's always going off and talking to my mom. She's just too much. That at one time was hurtful, because that means I have to dim who I am. That means I have to dim my light, and I'm just showing up as me. And that will take courage to just show up as what and who you are. That will take courage to say, everybody else may be wearing this, but I'm going to wear that. That will take courage within your own being. And once you take that one step towards that courage of establishing yourself and what you are and how you show up in life, it starts to layer and you become stronger in showing up as you. As you. And I would a few times have people say, you speak so proper or you talk white. Okay, so like, these things didn't really bother me. I have to say I don't believe I was ever bullied because I can stand on my own. But what is the other option? Is the other option for me to change for your acceptance? Because if that's the option, I'm not taking it. That takes a courage and a clarity. What's up, Blesstone? That takes a courage and a clarity to show up that way. It takes a courage and a clarity to say, I'm building this. I don't know how, but I will. Instead of, I'm just going to work here because then I can collect the check and, live by these friends that I've known for 10 years. And it's not what I want, but it's something. I don't care about that. And that makes me slightly probably maniacal, but just different. And when I say I don't care, because on my lives I say that often, I don't care. What I care about is building this experience for me. For life, for me, is my experience, not for you to agree with my experience, not for you to say how I should live this experience. It's about my experience. Our lives are about how we build this, because I believe everything you see is not real. It's not real. You get to choose what you want to see and how that will factor in your life. And I had a client today contact me that I'm working with for her speaking for a new job position and just in interviews. And it brought a feeling of an interview is a conversation. An interview is a conversation. I'm not going into any conversation without my confidence and knowing that I'm deserving to be there. In fact, if I'm going into an interview, I've made your day even better. There's nothing nervous that I will bring into that because, what's up? Because it's me. I'm Hope. I'm going to be the best interview you've had, not only in this day, but probably in your entire career. That's how I walk into things. There is no, will they like me? Am I going to get it? No, I'm an asset to this company. This company needs me. You guys need me. I'm not convincing you. I need to be convinced that I can add to what you have. And going into an interview in that way completely changes your perspective. It changes your response. It changes the energy that's exchanged. I'm not going in thinking they would never hire me. That's ridiculous. If that is the case, that's not the time to take the interview. If you believe that you will not be hired, that is not the time to take the interview. Maybe you should reschedule it and work on yourself to know that anywhere that you step into, you're worthy of being. Because if you're possessing this feeling of, I don't think they'll hire me, that shows. It shows in how you speak. It shows in everything. It can't be concealed. And this is the same thing with confidence. And I just uploaded, let me see if it's uploaded, a video about this on YouTube about speaking with confidence. Just 3 tips. of breathing when you're speaking. Instead of rushing through your sentences, breathing. I'm here, I'm relaxed. I'll take a breath, I'll sit back. It's good. Thinking about my responses, taking your time, formulating your response. Not just rushing because you believe the person just needs to hear something. No. I will take my time. I'll think about my responses. I'll utilize my thoughts and I'll respond. That is completely different than just rushing to say something because you're uncomfortable and you don't feel like that blank space can be held. I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? You look like a big tea drinker. Okay, I don't know what that means, but thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'll take that. So, I started with being angry at where you're at to change, and we are now at a space of speaking with confidence. And I started with being angry so you can change because we are in the final day of November. We are going into the final month of the year, and it is time for you to look back at the entire year, the past 12 months, and see what you have accomplished or what you haven't accomplished. See how you've moved up or how you've moved back. And understand that in every way, it is your responsibility to take responsibility over how your year turns out. There is nothing outside of you that brought the results that you have from this year other than you. And sitting with that, because that can be uncomfortable. What's up, I am Frey? Okay. Thank you for the heartbeat. That could be uncomfortable or it can be enlightening. Wow, I do have control over this. I do have control over my direction in life. Or, you know what? I don't even know what direction I'm going in. And sometimes we are misdirected. And I think it's not always a misdirection. It's a redirection. And when we are clear on the path and aware, we can see how this is a redirection. And I'm seeing it with myself because there are some things that I've checked off for this year that were big accomplishments for me. And it's only continuing. And the beauty with life is it just keeps going. So you can always continue to reach and accomplish and be more. But you have to, number one, assess your conditions, know where you're going, and start moving. Assess your conditions. As a flight attendant, during our recurrent training, we would have to be recertified every year with opening the doors, closing the doors, CPR, all of our health and safety certifications, and evacuating the plane. And so every year, all the flight attendants go to the recertification center. And there were a few in the nation that we would go to with complete mock-ups of the airplane. Yes, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. And thank you for the blue butterfly. And to evacuate the plane, we would have to stand up, tell the passengers, release your seatbelt, get out, leave everything, and then assess conditions. We would have to physically look out the plane door window and assess the conditions if we had to evacuate. Is there fire? Is there water? Is there debris? Are we on a runway? We need to assess the conditions before we get out. Because if we're in water, we would need a life jacket. If there's fire, we may not have to go out this exit and we may have to be redirected to a different exit. If it's just the runway, we can inflate the slide and go down. But until you look out to see what's outside, you don't know how to prepare. And so when I say assess your conditions, assess where you are. Assess where you are in life. I'm doing that. Assess where you are. Where are you currently, right now? Right now. Be honest about where you are. The dreaming is where you want to be. But to start, you have to be completely honest about where you are in this moment. Are you where you want to be? Are you in your perfect apartment? Are you in the home you want? Are you living with someone and you don't want to be there? Are you in between a dream and a job? You have to assess where you are. And I'm doing this in real time. This is why I'm sharing this now. Because to assess where you are takes courage. It takes courage to say, let me see where I'm at in this moment. What's up, Stevie PB? And why am I here? And I would also, the why doesn't even matter. The why doesn't even matter to me. It doesn't matter how I got here. This is why I'm here. I'm here. Where do I want to be? Okay, I want to be there. All right, so I've assessed conditions, and now I know where I want to be. Love you too, CVPB. Now I know where I want to be. Now I know where I want to go. Now I know who I want to show up as. Now I know how much money I'm creating for myself. Now I know the business that I'm building for myself. Now I know the friends that I want. Now I know I don't care about friends. What do you want? You've assessed your conditions. If friends aren't around you, do you want new friends? Do you want to improve the relationships with your friends that you have currently? Do you want to improve the relationships you have with your family currently? What do you want? Then write it down. And it could be setting a goal, or it doesn't have to be. But just that act of writing it out, it helps in 3 ways. Number one, the physical act of writing is therapeutic because you're actually writing something. Your brain has to formulate what you want to write or say, and your eyes are watching it. So those 3 actions are powerful tools. This is why writing is so powerful, because the act of writing is one tool. Seeing what you're writing is another tool, as well as the formulation in your brain is another tool. And let me plug my computer in. So, okay, so writing, therapeutic, great tool. Assessing, number 1, assessing where you want to be. Number 2, assessing where you are. Number 2, what's up, Zach Black? Number 2, seeing where you want to be. Number 3, just going. And some people say, write out a plan. For me, it's not always a plan. For me, I can just see the thing that I want and start working towards it. Now, for you, it may be something different. Maybe you need actualized steps. I believe in doing one thing daily. Yes, writing is so therapeutic. I mean, I do it every day first thing in the morning, and I'm back to doing it in the evening because I'm like on a roll. And I'm always writing through the day. I'll hear something and I'll write it down. Especially for things that I want to speak about, I will Yeah, wow. I just saw some notes that I wrote, and that's a great note. Um, so writing is therapeutic and important, and it could be anything. I'm finishing up my journal that will be in my link in bio that I have shared that I do every morning. The first page is either me writing my dream or whatever. It's just free writing for one page, just to clear everything out of your brain, just to clear everything out. So instead of waking up and just picking up the phone and drinking coffee on an empty stomach, which I don't do, I spend that time right when I wake up writing, clearing my brain, meditating, visualizing, seeing my day, seeing me in the future, having some water, then later going and having some tea. But your morning routine is very important. And I understand why there's individuals that have a lot of anxiety because their morning routine starts with waking up, worrying about everything in the day, worrying about the future, worrying about bills, worrying. And that's what's coding your day. The worry. Yeah, it's setting the tone for your day. Then you pick up the phone and you immediately probably go on to social media and start comparing yourself or what you don't have or an email for your company that you don't like, and that's already encoding your day. And then usually a caffeinated beverage on an empty stomach. All those are terrible. Terrible. What's up, cool Aaron? I program myself for success. And I started doing this because as a flight attendant, I had to. And I am very positive, and I also know that life will just send you experiences to learn from. So once I've programmed my day for success, nothing can get to me. Nothing can get to me. And I'll tell you another thing. Most of y'all just get upset at everything. Especially, yeah, and I specify Americans because, as you know, I lived outside the country. I'm moving back outside of the country because I don't. Yeah, living in the U.S. full time for the rest of my life is not what I'm going to do. However, I just feel there's this sense of anxiousness and this anger and there's, I don't feel a compassion. Oftentimes I do. Oftentimes I do. This is not in every case. This is not in every case. However, the US is a different type of space. And all it takes is for you to spend an extended time away to understand this isn't normal. Anyone in my life, let me tell you, daily life in the US isn't normal to most of the inhabitants of the world. Okay? And having compassion for another human being. People are just showing up. They're doing the best they can. If they ring you up the wrong price at the supermarket, it doesn't mean that you got to cuss them out. Maybe they don't know. If you haven't noticed, my father was a business owner and big on managing and working with people and speaking to people. I don't even see that being taught anymore. Like, how to speak to a person and how to manage people. That doesn't mean getting upset and losing your temper and talking down to people and cursing at people and firing people immediately. That's not how that works. There is an understanding of the human capabilities and knowing everyone is operating on a different level. And this is why not everyone is ready to feel a position such as a manager, because it takes a lot more compassion to work with people. This is a whole side note. However, Well, let me say this. Low vibration isn't a negative thing. There's vibrations on every level. Low doesn't mean negative or bad. There's certain drums that have lower vibrations. That's not negative or bad. Here's my definition. I don't feel that the U.S. values human life over money. And that's it. I feel that because this system, which rightfully so, it is a place where you can capitalize off of any idea. You really can within the U.S. However, from my perspective, that can be exchanged for a human life. And that's not comfortable for me. But also, this is just my perspective. It's not the truth. It's a truth. It's my truth, and that is what it is. And that is what it is. So, back to programming yourself for success. First thing in the morning for myself, if there is a thought that I don't want to manifest, I have to change it. I have to immediately change it, which means I have to journal it out. If it's something like, oh, it's so cold, you know what? It may be cold and I'm safe and I'm warm and I have this warmest coat. I'll start writing down the opposite because I had mentioned in one of my lives about observations. An observation means nothing. And I spoke about when me and my sister went to the Renaissance tour and we were waiting to get our Uber and she had said, it's cold. Sure, that's an observation. But what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? The observation, sure, it is cold. But there is nothing past it being cold. So is it cold and you want to be warm? Is it cold and you want a jacket? Is it cold and you're going to move locations? If you're staying in the space of just it being cold, just the observation, that's not doing a thing. That's not changing anything. And I shared that because often the observation is the end. It's cold. I don't have money. I don't like it here. It stinks. Okay. Sure, that's the observation. And what is the solution? What is the solution? And in the story with me and my sister, I just went outside because we were in a hotel lobby. So I went outside. But we have to move past an observation. And same with seeing yourself in the future or for next year. When I was feeling that last night and this morning, it was like, okay, I can feel this way. And what am I going to do about it? If I'm not there, what does that look like? What can I do in this moment, in this day? What will I complete by the end of this day that will move me closer to where I want to be? That's it. That is the solution for me. One thing every day. Because at times I can become like, I can overwhelm myself and try to do 10 things. One thing, then maybe 2 things. But if I choose to do one thing every day to move me closer, there will be a day where I'm there. All it takes is one small thing. It may be just Googling what you want to do. That's the one thing for the day. Then the next day, bookmarking the page. These aren't hard things, but unless you're doing one thing, it doesn't become a habit. One thing a week will not turn into a habit. One thing every day. Let's say you want to sell sweatshirts. Let's look up, where can I sell a sweatshirt? Okay, Shopify, Etsy, eBay. All right, that's what I'm doing Monday. Tuesday, how do I find a design? You can find websites for designs or design your own. Okay. Wednesday, what is the average price for I want to sell? These are the things that just one thing every day. It doesn't need to be more than 5 minutes. but it will get you one step closer to where you want to be, because that anger for leveling up is real, and anger can be such a powerful emotion when we allow it to steer us towards what we want. My anger doesn't keep me stagnant. My anger gets me in this movement of intense speed. Because I gotta have this. I'm doing it. And there's a beauty in that, but you won't know until you reflect at where you are now and see where you want to be, where you will be. And it's just so powerful to see in time what you can do when you allow yourself the movement to do it. Like really allowing yourself the movement to continue at something, the movement to try at something, the movement to say yes to something. And that's why I do come on live every day. I'm going to start doing lives again twice a day. I am uploading now daily to YouTube. More content, especially with speaking and confidence. I have all my lives, but now a lot more confident with speaking, with goal setting, with me cold plunging into the pool, but tangible things that you can see. For me, that means I have to consciously put this out constantly. I'm always working on something, and I like that. I like that movement. There's a downtime, and then there's a time of intense movement. And this is a reminder of that intense movement. So, I think my video is still uploading. I am going to go and do more on YouTube, and then I'm going to come back on to live in a couple of hours, because I just had an inkling to jump on live quickly. I usually am on for at least 90 minutes, but I'm going to split them up and I'm going to come on later. Since I'm in Pacific time, I like to come on a little bit later. It's a different crowd. So Mag, show up. I am prêt, show up. And just know, as I said, you'll be seeing a lot of rapid changes, because it's time for some things to happen, okay? And I'm making them happen. And being at home, being where I'm from, because there's a difference, and I'll make a video of that, of home and where I'm from are two different things. My home and where I'm from are two different things. Being where I'm at, which is where I'm from, always creates this massive surge of get to work. Get to it. Get. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to go back to places where it was like, I'm glad I left. But tap in. Go back. Get some of that energy where you're like, man, yeah, let me turn it up again. Because I've seen it within myself where I've gone to places and it's cool. It's comfortable. I kick back. It's time to turn it back up, for real. So in that sense, I'm coming back on later. I'm going to go upload a few things onto YouTube. Please go subscribe to my YouTube. My latest video is being uploaded now, and I just need a few more subscribers, and then I'll be over my 500 mark, which is a big accomplishment. And so subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on here. Let me know what you want to see more of, because I've been random with what I post just to see what's flowing and what people enjoy. But there's a bit more of a streamline of what's to come. Okay? Okay? I can't play with people no more. So that is me. Hope is speaking. I'm always on here talking about a bunch of stuff, confidence, speaking, just living bigger than you could ever imagine, and not giving a potato. I'm going to use that word because, as I say, most mofos are boring and they don't challenge themselves. So when you decide to take that challenge and you decide to step into something that you want and you decide to go in a different direction, know that the courage is already you. It's always been you. There's always these sounds. So within that, I will see you later on tonight. I close with these 3 things always. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. All you have to do is show up. Just show up. The rest will be done for you. And assess where you are to know what you want. With that, Mag, I'll see you later. I'm signing off. And just keep shining. Bye.